just doing announcements or something on a Saturday night. There's two people sitting right here. I just saw one of them the other day. They said, we want to get saved. Like right now, they just said, we want to get saved right now. And I said, okay, let's do that. And I led them in a salvation prayer. I led everybody in the salvation prayer, but they did. They just got saved, and they're still associated with the church over there. And that's probably been 10 years. Mm-hmm. So if you say, you believe in your heart, confess with your mouth, Jesus is Lord, you'll be saved. If you believe in your heart, confess with your mouth, mountain be cast into the sea, you will have what you say. You'll have that. Now, how can that be? Isn't that just simplistic? When you say, mountain of addiction, be cast into the sea, here's what's going to happen. On the inside of you, you'll start to hear things, and you'll start to see things that you need to do to match what you've just said. You need to deal with your relationship with your dad. You need to deal with the death of your grandmother. You need to deal with these things. This will start, you'll start to, it'll be revealed to you that you need to deal with these things. You need to deal with your confidence. You need to deal with your education. You need to deal, and it'll be the Holy Spirit allowing you to see what you couldn't see before. Because these are the things holding you down. And then what do? We can act on what the Holy Spirit's revealing to us. You need to go get help. We can act on that, or we can go, nah. Well, if we don't have corresponding action to what we believe or what we say, we'll not have what we say. You get it? You must have corresponding action.
Is that like faith without works is dead?
It's exactly like faith without works is dead. Mm-hmm. If you don't back up with conduct what you say, you won't have what you say. You'll just talk. Yeah. So when you say, addiction, be removed, be cast into the sea, get behind me, Satan, however you want to say it, if you're not backing that up with meetings, with a different community, with going to church, with praying, with getting closer to God, well, you won't have what you say because you're not backing it up. When you say you want a different life, thou shalt do something to cause that to come to pass. Right? Your inward witness, this Holy Spirit in you, will reveal to you the things you need to deal with. Now, it's the strangest thing. Someone can maybe have their mother or father die, or they can witness something very tragic, very terrible. And that doesn't hurt them as much as maybe a divorce, or what their dad said to them, oh, you're never going to amount to anything, or what a teacher said to them. Sometimes, you ever had that, when someone says something to you, and it just cuts, and it just gets in you, and you're like, oh. It's just like it pops your balloon. Like, oh. And you can probably remember the exact day and time, and whatever they said, and how they said it. That day, I gave up hope. That day, someone told me what I was doing wasn't good enough, so I gave it up. Right? So those things are the things that must be dealt with, must be restructured, rebuilt. Somebody has said, why aren't I further along in life than I am? Look at all those people I went to school with. Look at all those other people. They're doing so much better than I am. And now you're judging yourself based on other people. That's a terrible way to look at it. It's called a metric. How you measure something is a metric. How are you measuring your life? Based on being born into dysfunction and the disadvantages of that dysfunction, how are you performing? Based on your own story, not somebody else's. Does that make sense?
Yes.
We don't want to judge our lives by what happened to somebody else, because we don't know. We can't do anything about it. There are some people that seemingly grow up in non-addictive atmospheres, non-addictive families, that end up in addiction, or they end up suicidal. And what I've found is the same pressures are put on them than as if we did grow up in addiction. For example, well-educated people had a child grew up, a lot of expectation, captain of the football team, very, very good academically, and before graduation, completes a suicide. Everything looked good on the outside. What happened? On the inside, kid was suffering, trying to live up to the expectation on the outside. I think so many people spend their life believing their failures, trying to live up to an unrealistic expectation. Something that other people set before them instead of what you set for yourself, or instead of what's set by God.
Right.
Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Right? Or what happens a lot is they'll go into addiction. They're trying to find a solution to the problem of not measuring up. Because we only feel love when we get straight A's. We're only loved when we do everything right. That's how that works. And if I don't do everything right, now I'm less than. And now self-worth has taken a huge hit. But this is a cause of how people get into addiction that didn't grow up in an addictive family. Unrealistic expectations.